All right, day number 11. Let's go. All right, so I'm going to try to be a little more active, realizing that I'm very dead. I'm very monotone, and also one of the big things I realized is also there's not a lot of personality. I'm really just talking and trying to focus on the business, which I know is important, but a big part of doing this is also going through the negatives, going through the bad stuff, really, because this is a day-to-day of doing something like this, of building a business this big and really trying to do something incredible. Um, and if I'm not showing the entire thing, then what's the point? So that's that thought. So on that, yesterday was the Super Bowl, and there was a lot of just ads about acceptance, stop the hate, stuff like that, which is very I like that the world is finally moving in a good direction. We're realizing target really the negatives and get rid of that. Um, we have to realize obviously it's not an overnight thing, but we have to make these pushes now to get somewhere. And it really means everything for everyone. There's no, yeah, like we can all we all have to kind of decide a point. And that point could be right now, and hopefully it is, where, any wrongdoing that happened before, any bad that happened, it's over. We're starting new because, right, everyone getting back everyone else is just never going to end. So at some point, right, there just has to be total forgiveness, total, the world just has to focus on the future. Um, yeah, okay. I don't know why talking very general, very thing, but okay, about my day. So like I said, it was also the weekend. This weekend was a little bit less. I did a little bit less over the weekend than last week because of both the Super Bowl and it was my fiance's, my girlfriend's birthday. So did that. So we weren't, wasn't working as much. But got a little bit done on the website, got planning done with the pitch deck that I'm trying to do for Ethereum Graphene. And I guess more of what I'm doing because, I just want to explain it properly, even though I guess I still didn't really explain what I'm doing fully. We're going to start doing the pitch deck today too. So I'll go over that. I'll probably spend a couple days on that, probably this week. And then from there, should have the basic picture of what I'm really doing. And then it should just be a flow. Um, but essentially, I need to create that pitch deck, and because I do want to start applying. I did get my LLC tax ID today, so hopefully in the next couple of days I can start getting bank account set up, credit cards, um, actual spending stuff, like actual, put some investment in, actually get some money in there, and start building the company officially. So yep, exciting there. Um, Still think I'm a little bit loose, but also like I said, a big part of this is putting these out there. A big part of this is the growth. I think I already see growth from day one. I think there's going to be massive growth over the next couple of months. Just me talking here. But that's really everything. All these all these starting to focus on it, starting to pay attention to it, and hopefully getting a lot better and a lot more a lot clearer. Able to say my thoughts without struggling as much and without it sounding weird. Yeah, so that's getting better. There's also okay, so let's yeah, okay, here we go. And things like that, that is important to me because that's the growth. That's where we see it. Now, I'm going to share my screen and we can start with the actual pitch deck. There we go. All right, here we go. Ethereum, Highway to the Stars. Um, Here's the agenda, right? We explain the mission, the problem, solution, expanding space industry, market opportunity involved, business model, the team, competitive landscape, technology, financials, and risk mitigation. Okay, perfect. All right. Now, Etheria, this is the company or the parent company. The big company is on a mission to transform space transport into reliable, cost-effective, and eco-friendly highway to the stars by building a continuous bridge to space. It'll replace the efficiencies of traditional rockets and enabling humanity's next great era of exploration. Right. So essentially, what we're doing is really creating a permanent access to space. Humans, right now, we are on boats, we're traveling, it's great, but we don't have any bridge yet. We don't really have any connection to space. We have no consistent road to space. Right. Previously, I did explain the the logic for it and why we do need a consistent route to space, and we need to do it. This is something that we need to do, and this is what Ethereum is on the mission to do. We're going to make this happen, right? The current problem is rockets cost over $2,000 per kilogram to get something to low Earth orbit. That's a small orbit or a low orbit. And then interplanetary missions are more, right? A lot more, because the more mass you're sending further, the more fuel you need, right? Essentially, that's the issue with the rocket equation, right? They're inefficient. Only 2 to 5% of a rocket's mass at liftoff makes it to orbit, right? So that's a substantial inefficiency and resource waste. You're just using resources that we don't actually need to be used. Now there's reliability, right? Rockets are very heavily dependent on weather, on launch windows, and then weather, and they both intersect with each other, creating even more lag. So it's unpredictable. And then the environmental impact, right? Rocket launches release a lot of gases and other harmful chemicals in the upper atmosphere. And again, they're contributing to environmental degradation, right? Even if they're not using fossil fuels and everything is renewable. So space transport does need a solution. We need to figure this out. We need to get out of it. Essentially, the rocket equation, right, is that the more mass we want to send up, the more mass we need of fuel. It just has to happen, and that's the way it is. You see in this table right here, Saturn V, right, was 2,800 tons, and then only 2,682 of this was rocket fuel, or was rocket fuel components, this is the amount of mass at liftoff that didn't make it. So only this much actually made it. This is low Earth orbit, and this is a higher orbit, right? Starship, again, this is the predicted amount, should be hopefully be able to do a lot more to deep orbit because it's optimized for that. But again, a lot of it you see here is just wasted, right? And again, not with Starship and with Falcon Heavy and these stuff, it's not fully wasted. Think about rockets, right? Because they do land, so it's reusable and stuff like that. But again, still not scalable and still a massive waste of resources. So it's just not sustainable in the long run. So we have a solution, right? We have a solution called the space elevator, which is the answer to all this, right? Essentially, the space elevator isn't, people thought before, think of it as a consistent route to space. It's the only possible consistent route to space we can conceive right now, and that is just a tether that's strong enough to stay up there. It has to have being pulled by Earth's centrifugal force, so really it just has to support itself, and that's kind of what it is. It's cost effective, right? The economics will be totally different from going from thousands of dollars per kilogram to hundreds of dollars per kilogram or even less. Space could even be a toll. You could pay a car toll or a few $100 toll to go to space. That's what it can actually become. The efficiency, right? 100% of the payload that we want to put up there gets up. So every kilogram goes up to space. We're not wasting anything in the process. It's reliable. It's a consistent road. It's never going to end. It's just constantly up and down. Very rare for that to have any kind of delay. So there's really no delays on that. There's no uncertainty. So it's very, very certain. We know we're gonna have the machine down for a little bit. You have it on, but at the end of the day, it's consistent. I'm overcomplicating this, and now there's eco-friendliness, which is obviously eco-friendly. It's the same location, so we're not bursting a bunch of holes in the ozone layers. It has, sustainable. It eliminates any of those gases that rockets would release. So it's eco-friendly, right? It really, really helps. So essentially, the space elevator is really the answer to all these stuff, right? Space is the answer to the issues we have on Earth, or at least can be the answer. And the space elevator is the hopeful answer to space. Now, the expanding space industry is something we'll go over tomorrow, I guess. And we'll get through that. But for now, I think that's it, right? So essentially, that's what we need. We need to figure out how to get to space. We need to figure out how to do that as soon as possible. The sooner we do it, the sooner we're going to be able to get humanity past this point. Right? We're kind of in a bounce back and forth right now. And again, this is very, very big picture. And I know, who am I? Right? Who the hell am I? But I'm gonna try. And if someone else does it, that's great. It's even, it doesn't matter. It just needs to happen. These stuff need to happen. And the more people that realize that and the more people that work together for this bigger picture and this bigger goal for humanity, the better we'll be. It's really, that's what it is. So either way, I think that was heavy enough. That was enough information for today. So yep, good luck.